You know what's funny? No one teaches you how to write your soon-to-be spouse a letter on your wedding day in school, especially given it is the biggest day of not only one but two lives. Luckily for you and I, we have had a journey that well prepared us for this day. On my bedside table are 8 special letters you have written to me over the last 3.5 years. On June 8th, 2015, you told me you were trying to remain in the present but couldn't stop thinking about the future, our future. You said you were excited and anxious to see what happens, but most of all, ready to seek God's will in that.
Meredith, 1,202 days ago, I enjoyed a date with a lovely young woman. We grooved on some dinner, ice cream, and seemingly endless conversation, diving into each other's lives, extending the night together by any means possible. Now, years later, here we stand again. A little older, a little wiser, but still the same two people who fell in love on that April night.
But in this note, along with the 7 others very similar to it, you showed me your heart. You showed me your heart's capacity to speak openly and honestly, your ability to utilize words in a way to soften one's soul, and most importantly, you showed me just how much I mean to you.
The Jesus way of marriage puts the cross before you every single day and says, I honor the person ahead of myself. Will honors Meredith ahead of himself. Meredith honors Will ahead of himself. The cross becomes absolutely central to your marriage. It's giving your life up for the sake of the other. It's that mutual submission that Paul talks about that says that's how we're going to walk. The Jesus way of marriage, putting the other person in front of us.
Will always cares about other people more than himself. He always wanted other people to know that they were loved, and that genuine love was expressed through him. So, Meredith, in those times in y'all's marriage, when Will picks you up and carries you through the tough times, and when you pick him up and carry him through the tough times, and when Jesus picks both of you guys up and carries you through the tough times, know that it's going to be great because God's got you in his hand.
Some of the times, like, Will was just right there, and I turned to look at Will just to make sure, like, I still had my dive buddy, and Will was just always right there looking at me. And he was more concerned about my safety and my well-being and my experience than his own. And now to address Meredith, you're not only marrying a beard-wearing, coffee-drinking, woodworking Will Downer that we all know and love, but you're also marrying a dive buddy. And there'll be times in your marriage, good or bad, that you'll look over and he'll always be looking right back at you. And he'll be more worried about your safety and your well-being and your experience than his own.
Yeah, we've gotten to grow and evolve alongside you for all this time, and now it's time for you to grow alongside Will.
So as you all know, I'm the youngest of the 4 Trent girls, so I've had my fair share of college send-offs. And I'll be honest, Meredith was the hardest for me to take. There was a point at the beginning of college for Meredith where she was homesick and she wanted to transfer to a college that was closer to home and closer to me. So of course I looked at my mother and said, heck yes, she should do that. But shortly after that, Meredith met William, and she wanted to obviously stay in Kentucky. And at that time, I was not super thrilled with her decision to stay. But after I met William, I honestly couldn't tell you who loved him more. And as I stand here today, I can't even tell you how grateful I am to have a man like William coming into my life and being my first big brother.
Your love is contagious, and I know we've all enjoyed watching you guys blossom from those Sigma Chi and Theta freshmen into the newly Mr. and Mrs. William Downer.